Sources confirm Trump is drafting an executive order to authorize a military task force to arrest and try US citizens accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity, specifically those tied to the globalist COVID agenda. As Trump eloquently told Kennedy's Maha team, Dr. Joseph Mengele didn't walk free after World War II just because Hitler gave him a pardon, and neither should the modern-day perpetrators of medical tyranny. The modern-day Nuremberg 2.0 trials are coming, and the targets are clear. The billionaire philanthropists who use charity as a cover for control. The unelected health officials who crushed dissent and rewrote science on command. The pharma giants who cashed in on fear, pushing untested shots with hidden risks. The media puppets who lied, gaslit and buried the truth to protect their masters. And the tech tyrants who silenced doctors, erased whistleblowers and labelled truth as dangerous misinformation. They thought they'd get away with it. But this week, the Trump administration confirmed what we've all been waiting to hear. The reckoning isn't coming, it's already begun. Before we dive in, a quick word about our partner VP.net, the next generation of private browsing. VP.net is the only VPN designed with true zero logging architecture. That means, unlike other VPNs, it literally can't track you. So even if governments or bad actors come knocking, there's nothing to hand over. It's that simple. Your data stays yours. Go to vp.net/TPV for more. The tide is turning. Across the country, elected officials are stepping up and gearing up to bring Anthony Fauci and his COVID co-conspirators to justice. In Texas, retired Green Beret Dr. Pete Chambers just announced his run for governor, and he's not mincing his words. If elected, Chambers says that he'll use his authority to issue arrest warrants for Fauci and every official who pushed the experimental mRNA agenda during the pandemic.
As the chief commander-in-chief of all Texas forces and the Department of, we'll call it Justice for Texas, which is DPS, Department of Public Safety, with the Attorney General, I have the authority as the governor to issue arrest warrants for anybody that's committed a crime against humanity. Right? You understand that? And the guy that's going to be my head of DPS, Department of Public Safety, because you got to make sure when you're a governor, you don't pick some lackey from somewhere else that came in. I fought with him in Ramadi, Iraq in 2004. He's a Marine. He's meaner than a snake. He loves Jesus, and he's on my team right now. So that guy with me, he's going to arrest Fauci, and he's going to bring him, and we're going to bring him back. He'll go to jail, and then we'll conduct a trial. We'll do whatever the offense is for crimes against humanity. We'll look it up in the statutes. It's in there, and we'll handle it. And then the next one will fall, and the next one, and so on. And we'll bring actual accountability in the state of Texas, and they will be afraid to come into Texas, in the Republic of Texas. But they will also be, they will have to fulfill that through the Department of Justice federal side because it's a felony arrest warrant.
This isn't political theatre. This is a warning shot. And it's just the beginning. In an interview on Monday, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. called for the formation of what he described as the Truth Commission to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci accountable for his role in the COVID-19 debacle. On the Tucker Carlson show, Tucker remarked that Fauci now appears to be beyond the reach of the law. Kennedy, choosing his words carefully, said that he generally agreed, but he made it clear, a reckoning is essential. A truth commission, Kennedy says, could cut through the cover-ups, bypass the legal immunity, and expose the crimes the public has a right to know. Because pardons can protect a man from prison, but they can't protect him from the truth.
So it sounds like Fauci is beyond the reach of the law at this point.
Yeah. I think generally, unless there was a truth commission, which they did, and as you know, in South Africa,
yes.
They did it in Central America after the 1980s wars there, and they were very, very helpful to those societies. And, I think we should probably do something like that now. And in those cases, what happens is you have a commission that hears testimony on what exactly happened. Anybody who comes and volunteers to testify truthfully is then given immunity from prosecution. But so that at least the public knows who did what.
Yes.
And people who are called and don't take that deal and purge themselves, they then can be prosecuted criminally.
The Trump administration has made one thing clear. They view the COVID pandemic as a crime scene, Not just a public health failure, but a war crime. According to insiders, Trump's team believes Fauci should be treated the same way war criminals have been dealt with in tribunals around the world, through real investigations, real prosecutions, and real consequences. A truth commission with teeth is just the beginning, because anything less would portray the millions who suffered and died. And it's not just the victims of the pandemic. Let's not forget the countless animals subjected to agonizing, unnecessary experiments, ordered under Fauci's watch, all in the name of science. Or the hundreds of orphans buried in an unmarked grave in New York State, victims of Fauci's diabolical medical experimentation. Or the children forced to take vaccines that the CDC and NIH knew would skyrocket autism risk by over 1,000%. They had the data, they buried it. Now it's time to dig it up in public and hold every last one of them accountable.
What you would do if you wanted to find the answer, which is to compare outcomes in a fully vaccinated group to health outcomes in an unvaccinated group. And CDC did that study in 1999. They brought in a team of scientists under a Belgian researcher named Thomas Verstraeten, and they looked at the data. They looked at children who had received the hepatitis vaccine within the first 30 days of life, and compared those children to children who had received the vaccine later or not at all. And they found an 135% elevated risk of autism among the vaccinated children. And it shocked them. They kept the study secret, and then they manipulated it through 5 different iterations to try to bury the link. And, we know how they did it. They got rid of all the older children, essentially, and just had younger children who were too young to be diagnosed. And they stratified the data, and they did a lot of other tricks. And all of those studies were the subject of that kind of trickery.
The investigation into Anthony Fauci is no longer hypothetical, it's already underway. This is the man who instructed his aides to deliberately misspell words in emails to evade FOIA requests. A man who knew exactly how to cover his tracks. But it gets worse. Fauci used US taxpayer dollars to fund research that taught scientists how to hide the fingerprints of lab-engineered viruses. The technique is called seamless ligation. It allows researchers to splice viruses together in a lab without leaving any trace they were man-made. Think about that. Not only did he use gain of function to make viruses more deadly, while funding the creation of synthetic viruses, he spent your money making sure the world couldn't prove it. But arrogance was his fatal flaw. He thought he was untouchable. He slipped up, and now he's caught. We've got the receipts and the details coming up right after this important word from our sponsor. Think the healthiest thing in your pantry right now is some overpriced superfood? Wrong. It's actually olive oil. Yeah, that bottle you've got sitting in your cupboard isn't just for cooking, it's a weapon to help you look and feel younger inside and out. No big pharma potions, just nature's real deal. Dr. Stephen Gundry, a rogue surgeon who's done with the system, says high-quality olive oil is a game changer. The problem is the industry is a cesspool. Nearly all brands in stores are watered-down junk, pushed for profit, not your health. Dr. Gundry has had enough. He's exposing the real truth about olive oil with a free video for viewers of this channel. He'll show you how to spot the real stuff that works wonders for your body with just a few tablespoons. This isn't hype. It's the truth they don't want you to know about. Visit getolive1.com/TPV, the link's below. I've watched his free video and the information blew me away. If you're genuinely interested in changing your life with olive oil, go to getolive1.com/TPV now. You won't regret it. Why was RFK Jr. so careful, so hesitant, to fully agree that Fauci is beyond the reach of the law after Biden's last-minute pardon? Could it be because the pardon wasn't just corrupt, it was illegal? Now, forensic investigators and handwriting experts are coming forward, and what they're revealing is explosive. The signature on Fauci's pardon? It wasn't even Biden's. Sources say the autopen used to authorize the pardon doesn't match Biden's official legally registered signature. If that's true, we're not just talking about fraud. We're talking about a fraudulent pardon used to shield a man accused of crimes against humanity. And that means the door to justice is still wide open.